Hello, it's Richard Bolger again. Before I begin my presentation this evening, I must give you my disclaimer, which is that federal law governs bankruptcy cases. It is a federal statute, and yet bankruptcy law or bankruptcy cases differ from state to state based upon primarily the scheme in each state for protecting a person's property when they file a bankruptcy case. So I'm giving, information which is intended to be general in nature, and you have to consult with an attorney in your state in order to see how the law of that specific state would apply to your situation. And I must also note that my law firm is a debt relief agency, and we help people file for relief under the bankruptcy code. Now, having said that, I thought I would talk this evening about what I always found was a very interesting and rewarding case that I worked on. And it involved a couple who worked for the federal government in the Washington, D.C. area, both hardworking, good people, career civil servants who were in their mid-50s and looking 10 years down the road at retirement, and if not sooner, and realized that they had a major problem and they didn't know what to do about it. They had done quite well in the sense that they had accumulated money in their thrift savings plan and other accounts. However, they had gone in big time on 2 condominiums in Myrtle Beach because they had really loved the area and felt that these were sound investments. The purchase was made at near the peak of their market, though, for both condominiums. And when they came to me, they were owners of 2 condominiums, each worth about $60,000 to $75,000, but each of which had a lien on it in the amount of $200,000, and I think it was $20,000. So they had $120,000, $150,000 of assets secured by $440,000, $450,000 of debt, and thought this could completely ruin our retirement plan if we have to, pay this debt for these units that are not worth but a fraction of them. So what we did was we filed a Chapter 13 bankruptcy case. And a Chapter 13 is a reorganization, not a liquidation. We could not file a Chapter 7 because their income was too high, and they were both senior executives in the federal government, and they had assets they would have lost. They had cash, which they would have lost in a liquidation. So I think that was the biggest issue, really, that it just would have been a killer if they had filed a Chapter 7. So naturally, we looked over at Chapter 13 and ended up filing a Chapter 13. And what happened was just fantastic for these people. In the Chapter 13, we were able to surrender both of the condominiums to the lenders who had the liens on them. And in the Chapter 13 plan, these lenders were given a time certain by which to foreclose on the properties in order to liquidate their claims. In other words, they claim if they were to liquidate the property, there would be a deficiency after foreclosure because the sale would never bring the amount that was necessary to pay off the notes. So the $60,000 to $75,000 is all they were anticipated to get at a foreclosure. And so they would be coming after the debtors for the difference in the form of an unsecured claim, which they would want to be paid in the Chapter 13 plan. But since they were given a time certain to act, they had to take their action, or at their peril, they were going to be treated like any other. They had to submit a claim, for the deficiency in order to get paid in the plan. So what occurred, as you may guess by now, is the lenders did not act in time to liquidate their claims, and consequently did not file an unsecured claim to be paid as an unsecured creditor. And so my clients were able to walk away from the condominiums and the debt associated with them, and thereby protect their retirement plans from being ruined by this amount of unsecured debt. And what was really rewarding, though, was the fact that this couple, in the long run, called me one day and said that they had negotiated with the lender on one of the condominiums, the one they wanted to keep as their own. They were going to rent the other one, I believe, and were able to purchase the condominium from that lender in cash for $60,000. So that was a excellent outcome that we really didn't know, and as we set out on this particular case, was possible until we really were able to analyze the situation in more detail. And it was an outcome that the couple had no idea was possible, and were extremely grateful that they had a successful outcome. So I thought you might find that particular case interesting, and tune back in for some more discussion on other related matters. Talk to you soon.